If you've just joined us on Sportsworld, then welcome. And if my memory serves me correctly, about this time last week, Keith Hillier said, well, of course, we'll be seeing John Maher in the studio next week, because no doubt he'll come up with yet another winner. The juggernaut, Keith, as I welcome you, just keeps on rolling for he and Stephen King.
It does indeed, Sandy. 2 weeks ago, John Maher and Stephen King each had 5 winners at Flemington. They were our guests the next morning on Sportsworld. Last week, they won the 2 group races at Sandown. John Maher was our guest. We did invite him again this week. He won again the final spring race, but he wants to produce and be host of the general sport. Stephen King wants his name on a chair, so neither of them are here this week.
Tell me, what's going to happen to Palarain now? Of course, Palarain is the horse we're talking about from yesterday.
Yes, well, he was sold actually before yesterday's race, but he raced in the existing ownership, and he's off to the west. In fact, he's going to run next Saturday, Sandy, at Ascot, over 1,800 metres. But as you mentioned, John Maher, the last 12 races that they've contested in the city, they've had 8 wins, so it's a fantastic effort. And here's the Eclipse Stakes at Caulfield yesterday, the final group race of the spring. And Palarain and Stephen King, there really is no one riding better than Stephen King. You'll see him shoulder his way out of here after seemingly being in a bit of a pocket. He is riding in fantastic form, and he's chasing Damien Oliver now for the lead in the Victorian Premiership. He's only 2 wins behind Damien. That's it in the red cap, about 3 out from the rails, predominantly yellow colours. Palarain bursting clear, going on to win the Eclipse Stakes. Corndale, the New Zealander, fought on doggedly down the outside, his best effort here in Australia. Big win by Palarain.
What sort of races do you think it'll be set for, Keith?
Oh, well, he's been bought to contest weight for age race. He may even run in the Perth Cup. I don't know about him at that distance, but dependent on his performance next week over 1,800 metres, Sandy, we'll see whether he's going to run in the Railway Stakes or the Perth Cup.
I don't know whether it was an omen bet, but Darling happened to win the rate reducer handicap.
Oh, yes, she did indeed. In fact, there's a lot of pace in the race, and you'll see Darling storm down the outside. Here's the rate reducer handicap, a lot of speed early, and Vertingly, from the David Hayes stable, looked the winner when he got clear, but down the outside came Darling. So let's watch the finish and the storming finish of Darling. This is Rodney Griffiths aboard, the first or the second of a double for Rodney Griffiths at Caulfield yesterday. It's Vertingly about 3 up from the rail, getting to the front, and down the outside, 5 out from the rail. Vertingly, here's Darling swamping them.
Darling is swamping them. Darling coming at Vertingly in the final stages. Darling's got up to score from Vertingly. Aquatic Gleam is third, then Peg's Gift and Snippet's Girl.
Bit hard to catch, but she's not bad on her day.
The family and friends handicap, and it wasn't a day for Toot and Whistle, but no, it was a day for Bronze Legend.
Yes, and again for Rodney Griffiths, Bronze Legend, trained by Bob Hoisted, and Rod Griffiths aboard again. Let's have a look at the family and friends.
Legend has gone to the front here. Fratello is second, moving around the outside as Marmur. Icebreaker back behind the Minyama on the outside of Hawk's Peak. Webster's Wish dropping back a little bit there, being followed by Toot and Whistle. Forgotten Ruler commencing to gain ground. Second last there towards the tail of the field is Hunter Kingdom as they make the home turner. And Victory Vibes is last of all. Bronze Legend has taken the lead from Fratello as heads a turn for Homer. In third place, running on down the outside as Marmur. Hawk's Peak is under the whip next over on the rails as they come to the 200. Bronze Legend is still the leader. Marmur is down the outside. Hawk's Peak is coming after them very quickly. Fratello. Bronze Legend still in front of Marmur, and Hawk's Peak is trying to get to this leader, but it's still Bronze Legend. Hawk's Peak is coming after it. Bronze Legend hanging on. Bronze Legend will win it. Bronze Legend has won it from Hawk's Peak, and it's tight for third. Fratello or Marmur in behind them. Forgotten Ruler.
Yes, a good performance there by Bronze Legend. I don't know whether there's a lot around for him, but he might pick up another race or 2 over the summer carnival. There are only half a dozen 3,200 metre races on the Australian calendar. One of them was run in Queensland yesterday. It was the Queensland Cup. It was won, Sandy, by Native Dawn, who has been collecting country cups from Coonabarra brand all over the place. Not a bad performance. This was a runaway win. Let's have a look now at the Queensland Cup.
The pressure's on, 700 out. Waigani drivers still clear. Double Glaze ridden hard. Harbour City next. Native Dawners moving up quickly on the outside, followed by Elkington. York's pulled out the bat on Universal Order, give him a cut with a whip, and they're followed by Logical Option, and the Grouchers making ground from a long way back into the straight, and here comes Native Dawn. Native Dawn sprinted up and he dashed away with 400 metres to go. Native Dawn 3 lengths. Waigani drive Double Glaze. Here's Old Cool Credit coming home on the outside. outside and looks the only danger, if any. Native Dawn's clear at the 200, about 5 in front of Cool Credit, followed by the Grouch and Universal Law, but Native Dawn's going to win by 100 yards. He's 5, 6, 7 in front of Cool Credit, and this is the biggest win in the Queensland Cup you'll see for a long day. Native Dawn, 5 lengths Cool Credit, 7 lengths away, third the Grouch.
Yeah, good performance, Sandy.
It wasn't quite 100 yards, but it was 5 lengths, and that, in fact, now makes it 14 wins from 37 starts. You said the horse has been everywhere, hasn't it, just to win a cup?
Yes, 7 cups it's collected, and 3:18.3 was the time, and that was the record for the distance and the race. So Native Dawn, who only cost $4,000 at the Sydney Summer Sales, has won more than 200,000 now. It's a big effort.
Paid for itself quite admirably. Let's come south down a little bit and to Sydney yesterday, because there was some drama with Peter Losh, the jockey, very close to the finishing line. But before that, we might journey to Ballarat,
I thought we might go to Ballarat first because...
Let's just go everywhere.
OK, let's go to Ballarat. Rod Griffiths, you've seen him twice already this morning, and here he is on the mare Dream About It in the Ballarat Cup run during the week. She's a hard mare to ride. Her run has to be timed perfectly, and here it looked as though Damien Oliver was going to pinch the Ballarat Cup, but Rod Griffiths, he's riding in rare form. He won the Nissan Stakes on the final day of the carnival, and here he is getting Dream About It to the post in the Ballarat Cup. The provincial cups here have been so well attended. Racing's on a real roll here, Sandy, in this state.
Well, it's good news, isn't it? Because it did go through a bit of a trough several years ago, and it's good to see people flocking back to the racetracks around the country.
That was her, the grey mare, and as you mentioned...
I did promise Sydney, didn't I?
Yes, and what an incident in Sydney yesterday. A horse called Sir Bernard. It led, it was going to hang on and run second, and then something strange happened. Let's watch this. That's Sir Bernard in the yellow.
And then famous Nick
Peter
and
Losh is
Natural
aboard
Long
Sir Bernard, and he's being challenged for the lead now.
A narrow leader. Red for Go, about 2 horses off the fence, are still in the firing line, followed by King's Dilemma, Lay Jester labouring, and his Famous Nick. Famous Nick coming right down the extreme outside. He looks the danger. Famous Nick appears to have taken the lead from Sir Bernard and Red for Go. Famous Nick right out in the middle. Sir Bernard is hanging on gamely, but Famous Nick is clear as they get near home over Sir Bernard, and Famous Nick is too strong. Oh, Sir Bernard lost the rider right on the line. Famous Nick beats Sir Bernard. I'm not sure if he got across the line with the rider on Sir Bernard. Red for Go will be third, followed by King's Dilemma.
Well, the number of Sir Bernard went into the frame. Now, watch Peter Losh. The horse, Sir Bernard, shies, going, gone, and gone just before the pace. So, although he was officially semaphored as the runner-up in the race, he didn't carry his jockey's weight across the line, Sandy, and was taken out of the placings.
What causes a horse to shy like that? Is it something it sees? Is it a noise it hears? What is it?
Well, it could be any of those reasons. Something obviously has attracted its attention and caught Peter Losh totally by surprise, and he lost his seat in the saddle and lost second placing.
Now, I was going to say farewell to you, but I believe I have to say konnichiwa.
Oh, domo arigato. Yes, we're off to the Japan Cup, Sandy, and naturally, I'm in the naturalism corner. There's one for you too.
Yes, you're right. That is naturalism written in Japanese.
That's it. So good luck to the Australian naturalism in the Japan Cup.
Good luck to you, Lau.
Thanks, Sandy.
We'll take a break. I hope Keith has an enjoyable time. Good luck to naturalism. Coming up, one of the greats from the ring, Johnny Famechon. Mentioned earlier, next Friday night, a select field of Australasia's best horses will contest the Miracle Mile at Harold Park in Sydney. In past years, there have been some great clashes, and the 93 Miracle Mile will certainly be no exception. Craig Willis has more.
It began as a $15,000 race 27 years ago at Harold Park in Sydney. The brainchild of the then chief executive of the New South Wales Trotting Club, Len Smith. On Friday nights, the 6 runners in the 1993 Miracle Mile will be competing for more than $400,000. The first winner was Robin Dundee. In subsequent years, the greatest pacers in Australia have won this prestigious event. In 1971, the great Mount Eden started as the 6-4 favourite and didn't disappoint.
58, he's going to do it. He's there. He's done it.
And in 1983, another legend was made with the great Popular Arm, driven by the late Vin Knight.
Gamelite fighted out from Bill Student and Double Agent. A great race, Popular Arm, and Gamelite. Popular Arm has got to the lead. Popular Arm by a head to Gamelite.
And in 1988, Knight was again successful with Our Maestro.
Roliella weakening, but Our Maestro's brilliantly won the Miracle Mile.
Last year, the race went to Franco Tiger. He'll again line up on Friday, hoping to emulate this great win.
Franco Tiger holding Christopher Vanson wins the Miracle Mile.
Yes, like any major sporting event. Gee, Neil Donnelly, the voice of harness racing. Haven't we seen some champions in this sport over the years?
Yes, Sandy, and the Miracle Mile certainly has thrown up some great horses. We saw Popular Armour. I still can't believe that he sat outside Gamelite all the way and still beat him. Yeah. And Village Kid won a couple. Westburn Grant won 2. He was a great horse, of course, won into Dominion.
What about Franco Tiger? Do you give Franco Tiger a chance of making back-to-back victories?
He's got a tough task from the wide draw next Friday night. And there's so much speed in the race. As we mentioned last week, Sandy, the barrier draw is so crucial in the Miracle Mile on the Harold Park circuit. And that's what makes the mystique of the race, the fact that it is on the tight track. And barrier draw is so crucial. Barrier 5, he's got a tough task.
Well, this time last week, we were still waiting on 2 more horses to fill the final couple of placings. That has been decided. First up, let's have a look at the Qantas Sprint.
600 to go down the back. Level Advice, the leader. He's a length on Ultra Jet. Third on the fence, locked away Imprimatur. Weona Warrior coming out 3 wide, followed by our Ainsley and Band Magic as last. Past the 400, Level Advice, the leader. Ultra Jet's under plenty of pressure. The American horse, he's struggling. Weona Warrior's gone past him. Imprimatur wants a run. Level Advice led coming to the turn. The quarter up the back was 29.4 and Level Advice grabbed by Weona Warrior. Ultra Jet still there a length away and then Imprimatur, but Hancock went for home on Weona Warrior, dashed it well clear of Level Advice. Ultra Jet's doing his best work at the end, I think, but Weona Warrior's coming right away. Brilliant win. Weona Warrior by 3 lengths. Ultra Jet got going to get second. Third's tight. Band Magic or the tiring Level Advice and Imprimatur and Al Ainsley, the last 2.
Yes, Weona Warrior, far too good, but we sound like a broken record, I know, but the barrier draw, I guess, is going to be against Weona Warrior.
And the difference in quality. I think 2 things came out of that race. The failure of Level Advice again. He led and knocked up. Of course, he was a finalist last year. Not a finalist. He made the field of the Miracle Mile. Ran last, as it turned out, but still made it. And the winner went extremely well. Surprised me, actually. Although he did run third to Jack Morrison and Warrior Khan in the other way around. Warrior Khan and Jack Morrison in the Queensland Championship, and then contested the Australian Pacing Championship in Melbourne. So he's got a touch of class.
Were you surprised that the final horse came from the mile race, the Ladyship Mile race?
Yes, I was. In past years, the Qantas Sprints, no matter what name they've gone under, have virtually, the winners of both of those races have virtually been guaranteed an invitation. And, of course, the Unicorn won the second of those sprints, went up to Sydney, made the effort to go, as he was told that if you want a spot in the field, you've got to take part in the Qantas Sprints. He went up, led and won. And his first emergency, and the winner came out of the mares race, the Ladyship Mile.
Well, you can't do more than win, but let's have a look at the mares race and just see how that finished up.
Sable Eyes in front out of the straight. Second is Dominion Red. Third, the inside Take Me Easy. Followed then by Rena Colleen. Silky Blue Chip second last. And last Exceptionally Smooth. 600 to go heading into the back. And still the leader Sable Eyes clear over Dominion Red. Take Me Easy in behind the leader. Followed by Rena Colleen. Silky Blue Chip and Exceptionally Smooth is hooking out and she's sprinting up on the outside. Down the back, Sable Eyes the leader. Dominion Red is second on the outside. Here's Exceptionally Smooth sprinting very fast. Rena Colleen in the centre got chopped out there. And Exceptionally Smooth comes at Sable Eyes. They go away. 2 in front of Take Me Easy, Dominion Red. Then Rena Colleen and Silky Blue Chip. Sable Eyes and Exceptionally Smooth together on the turn. 3 to Take Me Easy. Sable Eyes, though, 3/4 of a length in front. Exceptionally Smooth trying hard. And then Take Me Easy. Sable Eyes still in front. Exceptionally Smooth having another crack at it near the line. Sable Eyes just in front from Exceptionally Smooth, and she wins. Sable Eyes the neck to Exceptionally Smooth. 2 lengths away. Third, Take Me Easy.
And that win, placing Sable Eyes in the Miracle Mile field, an American-bred horse. Is it going to be shades of the Melbourne Cup as we have a look at the draw, Neil?
Yes, very important here, Sandy. Of course, Chokin, the New Zealand Cup winner and the New Zealand Free-for-All winner. So crucial, barrier 1. Of course, he competed as a 3-year-old 2 years ago, and all sorts of things went wrong. He actually collapsed from exhaustion and fell over on the last turn. Different story this year, I think you'll find. Sable Eyes in 2. I don't think it matters where she draw. I don't think she can win. Jack Morris, the great horse in the country. No doubt he's drawn to be very hard to beat. Weona Warrior, a little tough for him now. He's got a bit of speed inside him. Franco Tiger, last year's winner in 5. Brilliant beginner, but does need a lot of luck now. And Master Musician, boy, he has no luck, this horse, in big races. Barrier 6 is like being out in the hot dog stall at Harold Park. But if they happen to go crazy in front, he's the horse that does have the zip at the end of his races to perhaps surprise. And I think that even though he's drawn 6, he's not hopeless, and he might get out in the market. It might be a bit of value. But I think from the barrier draw, gee, we'll find out if Chokin hasn't forgotten about his little exercise at Harold Park a couple of years back. If he hasn't, and he can lead, he'll win.
Tell me, are there any races that perhaps can give punters at home, you believe, a guide to next week's mile?
I think the New Zealand Cup was terribly important. We saw it on Sportsworld. Here we see the tape of it now. This is the start of the race. Chokin and Master Musician fought the race out here. Chokin had a good deal of luck early. He worked around after some 500 or 600 metres, and he's running about 5th or 6th on the tape there now. And Tony Hurley here decides to go straight forward, and the stablemate Sogo gets the front and he takes the lead off him. And then they ran the last half mile in, or something like 55.8, which is virtually, that's extraordinary time. That's faster than they ran the last half of them. They won't run that quick in the Miracle Mile next week. I think Chokin's really developing into the horse that could sweep all before him this season. He's in front here now, Chokin, we see now. Master Musician is moving up 3 wide in about 7th or 8th position here now in the black and white checks and red sleeves. Of course, the same thing happened in the New Zealand Cup here. Chokin got the brakes go his way, and poor old Master Musician did it tough, but proved what a quality horse he really is, and he really dug deep in the straight. Didn't quite run the leader down, but to consider that he sat 3 wide when they were running blistering time in front and was able to run the winner to half length, 3/4 of a length was quite extraordinary. This is a very significant race. I think the form from this race is as strong, if not stronger, than any race we've seen in Australia this season.
Is it impossible to win from barrier 6?
Not impossible.
Improbable.
Improbable is very accurate. It's just terribly tough, Sandy, because of the track at Harold Park. A horse in front just has such an advantage, and if you're off the fence, you cover so much extra ground. Here we see Chokin finding something in front and Master Musician running at him out in the middle of the track, which he probably wasn't entitled to do. I think the form from this race in the next few months will really stand up. Very important racer.
Yes, and there was another one that you felt too could have a bearing. That was the Legends race, wasn't it?
Yes, at Moonee Valley 2 weeks ago. We saw Franco Tiger and Jack Morris, who were both finalists, of course, in the Miracle Mile. Franco Tiger in front here, and Robbie O'Connell drove the horse this night. Brian Gath will drive him next week in the mile. And he, as we say, he turned the handlebars down a long way out in Franco Tiger to try to see what Jack Morris would do, and they just drew away, and it was a fantastic battle. They ran blistering sectionals the last lap. Both horses under pressure, and Franco Tiger proved here that he wasn't a spent force, and Jack Morris just continued to prove that he's the best in the country. And I guess you can't argue with the fact that they fought out the big race, and their times were brilliant.
Yes, and bookmakers agree with what you've just said. At the moment, placing Jack Morris a 6-4 favourite. Chokin is at 3s, Master Musician 5-1. Franco Tiger at 7s, We Own a Warrior at 12s, and Sableyes given very little chance. Now to the all-important, you're heading up there to